Well, good morning, everyone. I thought, seeing as this is, well, we're getting towards the end of August. This is Jeremy from our social media
Hi,
team
everyone.
here at Anson Genesis. I want to give you a stroll around the gardens because I know people love gardens and they really are at their prime right now, have been for a little while. And of course, once we get to October and fall starts, of course the leaves start to change, but you can see some of the beautiful plants here. I love those water lilies. See those water lilies over there? The water lilies right beside the offices actually, but it's where people walk around the path here at the Creation Museum and the beautiful lake we have here. So I thought we'd just give you a real quick tour of the gardens here and see how they're going this morning. So we come down past, this is one of the courses here associated with the zip lines. It's a challenge course. So Jeremy, have you done the zip lines yet?
I have done the zip lines. I did the zip lines here at the Creation Museum and the Ark Encounter. It's an exhilarating ride.
So which one do you like best, the museum or the Ark Encounter?
Well, they're really different because you come over the lake here. It's just a unique experience coming over the lake.
You can see the two zip lines there. It is a really unique experience coming over that lake.
And then
beside
at the Ark
gardens.
Encounter, it doesn't beat zip lining right next to the Ark.
Well, the Ark Encounter, you actually go over the valleys. They're about 2,000 feet long.
Right.
Here you go through the trees. See those trees down there? You go through the trees and there's, 27 zip lines here, 2.2 miles of zip lines. Down the Ark, eventually they're going to have 9 miles of zip lines. But here's the other interesting thing. We will have our Christmas programs coming up. We're talking about Christmas already. We only just had Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas again. And from November 23, after Thanksgiving Day, right through to December 30, we have the spectacular Garden of Lights here and the live nativity, and down the Ark, the rainbow lights, and we got some new rainbow lights this year that'll be programmed and changed, and a glice rink, the biggest glice rink in the USA.
Now, what is a glice rink?
It's synthetic ice, basically. It's a polymer, but it acts like ice, and you actually skate using the same skates, you're using a skating rink. But this is the biggest glice rink in America. Well, we had to have the biggest if we got the biggest Ark in America, right?
So it's like an ice rink, but you can't call it an ice rink because it's a glice rink.
Well, we call it a glice rink. That's the name. That's the company name for it, glice. You can sort of see there's a familiarity there. See, ICE, you get it.
Yeah, I think I get it. Okay.
So anyway, actually, for the Christmas programs, when it comes to winter, we close down the zip lines.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Christmas programs after Thanksgiving, they'll have the ones across the lake here open, and 2 others, so people can come across the lake, and the spectacular view of the lights is phenomenal.
Right.
It really is. Let's just zip up here a little bit and see the gardens in their prime here. I just love those water lilies. They're all around the lake, and you can get a good view of the other side from here too. So the guys are out mowing early. Of course, the grass grows pretty quickly this time of year.
It's been raining a lot too.
And it has been raining a lot. We'll give way to our groundskeeping crew here. Okay. Yeah, once spring comes, I think those guys live on those mowers.
Yes, they do.
Right probably through until October, and the grass starts slowing down this time of year a little bit, but
As fast as the grass grows, all the other vegetation grows really fast too.
Oh, the gardens have really matured here at the Creation Museum. When we opened the Creation Museum, we had no gardens over here, and of course now we do. This is the boardwalk on the opposite side of the lake to the Creation Museum, and people love to come around here. Look at those beautiful flowers on those water lilies.
Well, you got ducks right in there too, hiding in there.
Oh yeah, we have ducks here, and a number of little baby ducks I saw on the lake this year. So they breed around here. So the Creation Museum is over 11 years old now. And we have more people coming than ever.
And we have new exhibits being installed all the time.
We do. In fact, there's going to be new exhibits installed this winter as well. We're expanding the exhibits in the Creation Museum. We just opened the 4D theater. Phenomenal theater. Actually, people just rave over it. We have a 3D program. The reason it's called 4D is because the seats and other things happen in the theater. The seats vibrate, poke you, that sort of thing. And there's fans that blow air on you, there's strobe lighting. And there's a 3D program, but you don't just put on ordinary 3D glasses. You put on interactive infrared glasses, and so the 3D is much more spectacular than at the movies. You've been to the movie theater and seen
Right.
3D, so have you been to the 4D theater yet?
I have been in the 4D theater. It was an amazing experience. Not only that, with the 3D infrared glasses, one of our staff members, Tom, he watched it. He's colorblind. He normally does not get the 3D experience, but with the way the unique infrared 3D glasses was, he got the 3D experience for the first time in his life.
Is that
He was
right?
simply amazed.
Is that right? I didn't know that. It has to be the technology that does it for him somehow.
Right.
So we can see across the lake here, see the side entrance there to the Creation Museum,
We got a lot of these beautiful flowers.
and a lot of beautiful flowers. The plants have really matured around the lake here. So we're just going to go up through the rainforest area. People love to walk over the gardens. Over and through the gardens. Some of our waterfalls, we have quite a number of waterfalls in the gardens. We're getting more and more beautiful landscaping done down at the Ark, but we don't have the beautiful gardens like this down at the Ark. Not yet anyway, but it does have a lot of beautiful landscape. It's very different. It's got the lake down there, and we got plants and topiaries around the lake, and we're actually expanding the zoo behind the Ark, and I was just down there and saw the new buildings they're putting up, the new kangaroo area, the emu area, ostrich area. There's going to be a sloth area and lemurs, and we'll have some of that partially opened anyway before the end of the year, and
you're
the
going
rest
to be
of it
able
next
to
year.
get even more up close to the kangaroos and emus than we have been.
Yes, you will be, because they're special walkthrough areas.
Right.
And I was looking at what they're doing. It's a different sort of zoo. It's different to your local zoo in that it's a more intimate experience
Right.
with special animals. And of course, we've actually bred a number of kangaroos at the Ark. Okay, so we're walking through close to the rainforest area here.
I mean, this is like you're actually walking through a
A
rainforest.
rainforest. Can you imagine a rainforest in northern Kentucky? And we have banana trees. Well, we come up here and see some of these big banana trees. There's lots of banana trees. Our horticulturalists actually do a fantastic job. And these banana trees, they're specially bred actually, and they cut them down just before the real harsh winter, and then they cover them with mulch. And look, they all come back up again in the spring. So you would think you're in tropical North Queensland, walking through all these banana trees here.
So if you come in the spring, you'll get a little different experience than if you come towards, summer
Well,
or fall.
as soon as spring comes, this all gets cut down, a lot of this, because this is all rainforest area.
Right.
So you see the rainforest plants, a lot of this gets cut down or cut back. The banana trees get cut right down to ground level. And then in spring, they start to pop back into
Yep.
existence again and start to grow. So
They grow so fast, too.
they do. So by the end of May, this is really looking nice, and of course, it really, really enhances the gardens.
I recommend coming back for all the different seasons just to see how different it is. It's
Well,
pretty
it is
amazing.
very different. Now look at these banana trees. Look at the size of those. Some of the banana trees are well over 20 feet high. Might just have a little look out here on our suspension bridge, just to see how things are going. This is also a fun thing that kids like to do, is to walk across our suspension bridge. We won't go all the way across. By the way, if you see See those ladders in the background, those guys up there on the ladders? They're starting to put up the Christmas lights. Can you believe that? This is the end of August. Because there's so many lights, it takes them a few months to get them all up. And they decorate them very, very carefully. It is really spectacular. The Garden of Lights here is absolutely phenomenal. Plus, where you see that little vehicle over the back there, a maintenance vehicle, we're putting in a children's playground area there. And it's a playground that kids with disabilities can use as well. So that's going in before the end of the year. It's going to be a spectacular playground. And we're going to be raising funds for put one in at the Ark. And the one at the Ark is also going to have a rainbow maze. And of course, we'll be telling kids the true meaning of the rainbow. So let's come back here a little bit through the rainforest area. So we'll walk through this area here. You know, well, Jeremy, you were born in Australia.
Under a tree.
Under a tree. That's true, you were actually. And this reminds me so much of where I grew up. The tropical rainforest feel. It really does. Imagine having that here in northern Kentucky. Hard to believe, but we do.
I don't know of any other place where you could enjoy the rainforest.
Yeah, particularly, you know, the fact that we get snow here and you get ice storms, and our horticulturists have done a wonderful, wonderful job. So we'll come over here and show people the new entrance to the Creation Museum. Really is exciting to see what's happened here. So let's come over here. Here's a sluice where kids can mine for minerals. Down at the Ark we have one where they mine for fossils. And so you can see how we have some of those electric vehicles here that people rent, and we have a lot of them down the Ark too. The Kona ice machine there. And out here, this is the new entrance area. So this is the new parking lot out here. Of course, this is early in the morning, and so people aren't here yet. But you can see the new ticket building that we have built there. And I'm locked in. Seems like we're locked in. Let me see if we can move this. Yes, we can. Just move that a little bit and come out here and see the new ticket building that's out here. In fact, they're still, we use it every day now, but they're going to be putting an awning on it, and they're still making some modifications to it, as you can see there. But this is where people get their tickets now, because this is the new parking lot, and so this is the new entrance. And so people get their tickets there, and then they come in through here.
They'll also shuttle you right to the building if you want to.
Yeah, we have shuttles that come around here as well. So now people, to come into the Creation Museum, you actually walk through the gardens. You come in through the gardens. But if people don't want to walk, I mean, they can get their electric vehicles here, or wheelchairs or strollers, whatever, but then they can be taken by shuttle over to the museum and get them over there too. But this is a beautiful entrance now to the museum. So actually it's nice to get here early before all the people get here.
It is nice.
But you got the maintenance people going around doing things, and you've also got the landscapers, the horticulturalists, getting things ready for the day's activities. So we'll have a quick look down here. We have a Japanese garden down here.
Yeah, the koi pond, that's one of my favorite.
Yeah, the koi
parts
pond
of the
garden is beautiful. And actually, I think we start in September. They're widening all these paths.
Right, so they are doing construction.
There's going to be a considerable amount of construction here. And at the bog, they're going to widen the path across the bog. So there'll be a lot of work going on. We have a bridge across the bog now, but they're going to make it a double lane bridge instead of a single lane. So we'll just have a quick look in here. Here we have the koi pond, the Japanese gardens. They're beautiful to walk around in here, watch the fish swimming around, and to be able to look at the different plants that we have in here.
It's very peaceful. They did a really good job.
Peaceful. You can see the first zipline tower in the background over there. And of course there's a lot of bamboo in here as well. So let's have a look at the bog. The gardens really are at their prime. It's a great time to come see the gardens. So this bog, actually there was a spring here. Well, there still is a spring here. And so 10 years ago when they built this bog, they excavated out here and actually put in the right sort of sand, gravel mix and so on. And they put in some misters too, so that they turn those on and you can see the mist coming up from the bog. But they grow carnivorous plants in here. And this has really come on and taken on a life of its own. But all this dies back, of course, in the winter. You can still walk through the gardens in the winter, but they have a whole different feel.
So here's some of your carnivorous plants right here, if you want to take a close-up look with the camera.
Some pitcher plants down there. And they have some Venus flytraps in places too.
Yeah, there's some Venus flytraps too.
So, have a number. So, oh yeah. Look, there's lunch. The grasshopper. Okay. So then as we come around here, and they'll be widening all these paths here as well. In fact, many of the paths, they want to make them so that you can have people be able to walk in either direction and not bump into each other. See how they've widened this area here.
Right. It's a nice area to sit down.
And then, tell you what, I haven't been across the other bridge in a while. Let me go across the other bridge to go back to the Creation Museum, our floating bridge. There's a bridge here, some waterfalls in there. But we'll see if we can walk across the floating bridge here. As long as you don't push me off.
I'll try not to.
You know, it's just beautiful just to walk through the gardens. It really is. And so this is a really nice entrance to the museum now, where they come in from the new parking lot and they come through the gardens. There's different ways to get across to the museum. Either the bridge that's up to my left, or the floating bridge, or they can go around via the boardwalk, or through the zoo and over that way.
It's a bit wobbly.
It is a little wobbly.
That's the fun experience of it.
That's true.
Children really love this.
But you can't take a wheelchair on here.
No, you can't.
But there are other bridges for wheelchairs and the ECVs to drive on.
I tell you what, it's worth it just to come see the botanical gardens here at the Creation Museum.
Yeah, the botanical gardens are beautiful. They've even been written up in some magazines, and they're said to be some of the nicest gardens in Kentucky. And our team is very talented, lots of different plants in there. We only just saw a little bit of it, sort of skimmed through it very quickly, and come up now to the front of the museum, to the main entrance. And when we first opened, this was just an open area, had no plants at all when we first opened. And now we have some beautiful gardens, trees. The whole place has really matured.
Yes, it has.
Makes a big difference. So, I encourage you all to come to the Creation Museum, come and see the gardens in their prime, and go through the Creation Museum, visit our new 4D theatre. You will be impressed. I met some people the other day who said, Oh, we did it twice today. They did the 40. They enjoyed it so much they did it twice. And then, of course, there's the planetarium, and then the whole walk through the Bible, and then the petting zoo, the zoo, camel rides, all the different things.
And they're continuing to expand. So
continue and expand. You want to be expanding the exhibits for next year as well. So with that, we're going to sign off here from the Creation Museum.
Thank you for joining us.
creationmuseum.org, and for the Ark Encounter, arkencounter.com.
We'll be putting links.
And we'll put links in the comment section there for you. Have a great day.